Chapter 1. The Little Prodigy. As the sun rose over the sleepy town of Maplewood, its golden rays filtered through the lace curtains of the river's modest home, painting the living room in soft hues. The sound of cheerful birds chirping outside was the perfect backdrop to a morning that promised boundless potential. Little Aria Rivers sat at a small wooden table, her pigtails bouncing gently as she scribbled in a notebook, her small fingers dancing across the pages with effortless grace. "Aria, sweetheart, what are you writing about today?" asked her mother Emily, a woman with warm eyes and a gentle smile that could light up even the bleakest of days. "I'm writing a story about a brave princess who saves her kingdom from a wicked sorcerer," Aria replied, her green eyes sparkling with excitement. Emily knelt beside her daughter, marveling at the vivid imagination her child possessed. "Can I read it later?" she asked, her heart swelling with pride. Aria nodded enthusiastically before shifting her attention back to her writing, finding solace in the flow of words as they emerged on the page. Outside, whispers of Aria's uncanny abilities spread like wildfire among neighbours. They gathered at the local cafe, murmuring about the extraordinary child. "Did you hear? She's only 5 and she's fluent in Spanish, French, and even Mandarin," one woman exclaimed, her voice a mix of disbelief and awe. Not to mention that time she helped Mr. Jenkins with his garden. The way she explained crop rotation was something I've never understood after years of watching gardening shows, another chimed in. But the whispers never reached Aria's ears, and she remained blissfully unaware of her reputation. What she did grasp was the love that enveloped her daily life, a stark contrast to the cold indifference she had once known. Her mother, her father, Jonathan, and even her little brother Timmy, who was just 2, showered her with affection, immersing her in a world where laughter filled the air like the sweet scent of blooming lilacs. Amidst the warmth of her family, Aria felt a longing to use her past knowledge for good. Every Saturday she would help the local librarian, Mrs. Harrison, organise books and read to the little ones who came looking for adventure. There was a spark in her when she shared tales of bravery, friendship and wisdom, especially when she spun yarns that seemed so real they leaped off the pages. One sunny afternoon, while dusting off the shelves, Aria overheard 2 elderly men talking about the struggles of a local business that was on the brink of closure, a beloved bakery owned by a sweet old lady named Mrs. Thimble. They spoke of how difficult it had become to compete against the larger chain stores that had begun to invade their small town like uninvited guests. Aria's heart sank. The bakery was where they sold her favourite cheese pastries, and Mrs. Thimble always had a warm smile and an even warmer hug for anyone who stepped through her door. "I wish there was something we could do to help her," one of the men lamented. "I know what we can do," Aria said, her voice small but filled with determination. The men turned to her, surprised by the boldness of the little girl with the wild imagination. "What do you mean?" one of them asked. "What if we organised a bake sale?" Aria suggested, her mind racing with endless ideas. "We could invite everyone in town and raise money for Mrs. Thimble. We can even add new recipes from other countries." The men shared incredulous looks before bursting into laughter. "You think we can get that many people interested?" "Yes," Aria insisted, her voice now steady, a spark of the woman she had been flashing in her eyes. "We can make it a festival, a day filled with music, food and games, bringing everyone together. It will remind them of how important our little town is." Though sceptical, the men soon found themselves captivated by Aria's enthusiasm. They left the library with a renewed spirit, ready to spread the word and gather support for their mission. Over the following weeks, Aria poured her heart into organising the festival. She wrote letters in elegant script to local businesses, asking for donations of ingredients and supplies. She created colourful flyers in the languages she had mastered and convinced her friends at school to help out. The children of Maplewood, enchanted by the idea of a community festival, rallied to support Aria, whispering secret plans that made her heart swell with pride. As the day of the festival approached, The entire town buzzed with excitement. Aria, now more than a little prodigy, had become a beacon of hope for everyone around her. With every smile shared, every pastry sold, and every note sung, she was reminded of the loving kindness that was slowly restoring the community's heart. The festival day dawned bright and clear, laughter filling the streets as townsfolk came together, breaking bread and sharing stories. They danced under the sun, their voices rising like the scent of the freshly baked goods wafting through the air. And as Aria stood at the centre of it all, her heart full, she realised that while she was a little girl with extraordinary gifts, it was her willingness to share love and light that truly made her a remarkable person in this new life. In that moment, with warmth all around her, Aria Rivers knew she had found her purpose, a purpose that lay not only in knowledge and wisdom, but in the beauty of community, compassion, and connection. And thus began the journey of a little prodigy who wasn't just living a new life, she was transforming it.
For next chapter and